Welcome to Talking Business. I'm your host, Darcey Edwards with Queen Bee Leadership Training. Talking Business is just that. We are talking business with business leaders, leaders in the community, and those who change their communities with entrepreneurship. This podcast is presented by Xpose Hope as a thank you to the business community. Catch us on all the platforms. Find us, follow us, and review us.
Hi, I'm Betty Campbell here with Talking Business in place of Darcey Edwards today. And I'm here with LaTosha Wilson with Hip Hop Hiits. And if you haven't heard of her, you need to look her up because she's amazing. LaTosha, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to get a chance to talk with you and chat with you.
Well, tell me a little bit about Hip Hop Hiits. I originally thought it was a recording studio or something like that, but it clearly isn't. So tell us about it.
Yes, the name I would say is very, very misleading. Most people think they're either coming in to be part of a dance crew or they're getting ready to audition for So You Think You Can Dance. And it really is an easy to follow dance fitness format that combines dance cardio with strength training, high intensity interval training, hence the name HIIT, H-I-I-T.
It's wonderful. And where did you get this idea from to combine these two things so that people could exercise?
Well, hopefully I don't cry because it's actually because of my mom, how this came about. I am a geek turned fitness instructor. So I used to work for a technology company here in the local area. And I started teaching classes and everyone told me that I had a knack for teaching. So I kind of, selfishly, I just wanted to teach because I got paid to teach and it was fun. But eventually, as I started to realize that it was much more that of a movement that I was creating, people started to follow me from location to location. It became almost kind of like a ministry for me, kind of thing. And so with that, my mom ended up getting sick in 2013. She was diagnosed with cancer, and I needed some time off. I was teaching a format that needed a sub for class, and I couldn't find any subs for my classes. And it was really, really hard. My mom, she lived in Sacramento. I'm here in the Pacific Northwest. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I had been reported by I won't say their name because I don't want to get them in trouble, but the Karens of the world. Let's just put it that way. I'd just been reported so many times for doing things, and they were just little things that I messed up. And so the third time when I thought I was going to get reported for something, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I wanted to make sure that I had a sub for my class so I can go be with my mom. It was a good enough reason for to be away, but still, you never know what people are thinking. So my best friend, girlfriend, she came and said, I can teach your class. She taught a high intensity interval training boot camp class. And I was like, wow, okay. She said, let's take 30 minutes of that and 30 minutes of my dance cardio from this other format that I was teaching, and let's combine them. And then that way you can go home and be with your mom, and I'll be here and classes will still go on. So it really was born out of a need, a necessity for me to be with my mom.
A lot of people don't know about this type of training. They've heard of, interval training, but putting it with music, doing it in a fun, neat way, that's completely new for this area. And then you're bringing it to interesting audiences like the Chamber. So how did you make those connections, and how have those connections worked for you?
Coming up with this, it's really interesting. I have a dance background and everything to me, because the music moves me. I had a fitness director that said, let the music be your assistant coach. And everybody does it, right? You hear the things like YMCA and everybody knows exactly what to do. It's the same type of thinking when coming up with Hip Hop Hiits. And so when we did that, it helps also if the music is fast, you expect to go faster. If the music is slower, you go slower. There are a lot of boot camp type classes, but they just use music as a background. There are a bunch of dance classes, but they don't incorporate strength training. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. And again, we stumbled upon this because of my mom, and I'm grateful for that blessing. And with that, I came and someone recommended that I come and check out the Chamber through the Black Advisory Business Council. And it has been the best decision ever because I've met so many wonderful people such as yourself, Lee, and just many others who have I feel like this changing the trajectory of our business.
Excellent. So The other thing that I know about you is you're also an author, and you've written a book called
Walk by Faith.
Walk by Faith. And if you have not purchased this, it's available on Amazon.
It
isn't
is available on Amazon.
And it is a primer for us getting up. You know, after COVID, we need to get up off our couches. But writing a book isn't, as easy. Everybody says, oh, you should write a book. But what was entailed in putting this book together and then getting it to market? And how has it changed your business?
Well, for me, my spiritual background is, I believe and I read the Bible every day. And so with that, when I read the Bible, it reads like a fitness manual to me. So every time I saw the word walk, it would be something that I would write down, walk, walk. And I had a bunch of verses that said walk. And then I thought, 30 days of walking. That's something easy and simple that people could do. So let's walk. And then in that, I kind of designed it so that you start off in the morning with everything, 3 things of gratitude. You write that down. Then you can choose to walk for 5 minutes or walk for a mile. And then it will increase throughout the 30 days. And also in there is a place to journal, to write down your thoughts and your feelings so you can kind of let things go. Because sometimes just writing it down helps clear your head. And then the other thing is there are writing prompts just in case you don't know what to write about. It just asks you certain things based a little bit on the scripture just to kind of get you thinking. So it's not just for believers. It is for anyone. You can choose to use the music that I have written in there, or you can choose to use the scripture, or you can just use it straight for a walking book. But it's Walk by Faith, a spiritual exercise to build your faith muscle.
Awesome. So when you brought your book out, how have you sold it? What platforms do you use? And how has it helped your business in having a book?
Yes. This has been a very interesting thing. So I decided to have that go out. It came out last Christmas. And so that was going to be my Christmas present to myself, was to finish the book. And I got online and I went to YouTube, like, how do you write a book? How do you publish a book? And I have to say that if you want to be a self-published author, the best way that I have found, if you have no experience, you don't have any team or anything like that, is to go self-publishing through Amazon, through Kindle publishing. And it was an easy process, meaning you just had to go through and just really listen to all of the advice that was out there, and then just take it step by step. Don't rush it. And that's how I got out there. And I just like to say that I'm a published author. It's just kind of cool. Or people find my book, or, I see that there are people have purchased it and things like that. And it's very, very exciting. And it's funny because on my way here, I sent a book to my cousin in Alabama. He's a pastor of a small church. And he said, fitness is something that I want to do for our members. I want to do something. And I thought, aha, let me send this book to them. So it's allowing me to help people even though I'm physically not there. So that's how I feel like it's helping my business. And I sent him a copy and I said, pray about it. If you feel that you can use this, please use it. I've had other family members use it and they just love it. It just made them happy just using it. And it's just keeping it very, very simple.
Very good, because you can't always be in class at Hip Hop Hiits, right? You also have to do something on your own. So when you were starting this business, you came from the tech industry.
Yes.
This is a business that makes a lot of money. There's great stability there, and you jumped out to become an entrepreneur. So what advice would you give other people who are sitting in the tech industry and they're just tired of the cube? What would you tell them?
Well, I have multiple different businesses, and I say that because people say, like, focus on one thing, but I'm an idea generating machine. I come up with an idea and I like to wrap a business around it. I was fortunate enough that I had business mentors that came into my life, and they asked me a couple of questions that really helped me solidify when I do something. So one of the questions they asked is, I call it the lottery question. If time and money wasn't a factor, you had all the time in the world, all the money in the world, what in your life would change tomorrow? And I thought for a moment, and I was like, everything. And he said, you know what that tells me? You're not doing anything today that you really want to do. And that stuck with me. So whenever I get the opportunity to do something, come on a podcast or anything or whatever, I always ask myself, if I wasn't getting paid for this and I had all the time in the world, would I do that? And that lets me know truly in my heart if I really want to do something. And if I do, then I'm like, go for it. And then that's been that helped me make the leap. So I knew that I did not want to be in tech forever. I didn't want to be a corporate mom. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, which is funny because my husband says you're a stay-at-home mom that never stays at home. So I'm always out doing things, but this is where I feel that I get a chance to connect with people. I'm a connector. That's my gift, and I love it through dance, through fitness, through books, through conversations, through networking. It really energizes me.
Excellent. So when you were beginning Hip Hop Hits, you had a partner in that. Mm-hmm. Partnerships are not easy, even with, when you're married, your spouse. Mm-hmm. So how have you two gotten around the difficulties of partnership?
Yes. That is very, very key. You have to build trust. That's number one. Trust is number one, because if you know the intentions of the other person and trust that they're doing the right thing, that's, I think, definitely key. And just having someone that is in alignment with the things that you believe and being able to have the hard conversations. So one of the books that I read before is called You Win in the Locker Room. And it talks about what you do in the locker room before you even get out on the field, before you get out there in front of everybody else. That's how you're going to win. And so we set up our boundaries, our rules, our rules of engagement and how we're going to work with that. And so far, it has been a wonderful relationship. She has a full-time job as a nurse supervisor here, and that runs like an 80 to 90 person team. She's a mom. She has 2 kids. She does everything. So I'm very aware of how much time she can put into the business. And I don't say like, oh, I'm doing everything and you're doing nothing. I am just aware that this is where she is, and I work really hard because my goal is to be able to grow the business. So eventually, if she decides that she can walk away from her job, if she chooses to, that would be a gift that I could give her. So it charges me up to want to work on her behalf, because I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for her.
That's amazing. So I have actually heard a very similar story in a movie that recently came out about Kurt Warner. And he says you win in the practices, that's how you get placed on the field. So it's kind of the same thing. It's all that pre-work. A lot of people think, I see her in these videos, she's amazing. She just decided yesterday to get on videos, and look, she's doing great. They don't realize all the pre-work that you've done. Yes. So what is some of the other pre-work that you've done? I know you're part of the Black Advisory Business Council, and that has helped you a lot. Yes. So I know that's part of your pre-work, is creating not only opportunities for you and education, but also for others.
Yes. And with that, with Tanisha, my business partner, I learned that I had to form a relationship that I could trust and work with, right? And so I thought, what would happen if I had a team of people like her? And so earlier this year, I said, I'm going to open myself up and really get out there and just do things that I don't normally do. And someone contacted me and said, hey, you should connect with the Black Advisory Business Council. I heard of the Washington County, I heard of the Chamber of Commerce before, but someone had invited me to come to a Rotary Club. And so like all of these things, these terminologies that I've heard of before, but I really didn't know what they were about. I thought, you know what, let me explore it. And I'm so grateful that I did. Just saying yes to those opportunities has led me to doing something with the Hillsboro Hops. We did a pregame show. Again, these podcasts, getting a chance to connect and get the chamber up and moving. There's just been so many wonderful things. Also working with Lee and Dodge Media Productions, them creating a video for us. So this is I feel like it's just taking our business to this next level, and this is just the launching pad for what's to come. And so it's been really, really exciting, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to, again, sit here and talk to you and share with your audience and all of that stuff. So thank you, because I can't believe that all of these blessings and opportunities have come just from just saying yes to someone who just said, have you heard of the Black Advisory Business Council?
Isn't it amazing what just a small connection can do if our eyes and ears are open to those connections?
Yes.
Awesome. So I know you are a planner and that you believe in planning out your future. So where are you going from here? You own several businesses. So where are you going? Is there going to be a large umbrella over all of those businesses? Are you hoping to break some of them off? How are you looking at the future?
So the umbrella corporation already exists, and that's with my husband and I. That's my first business partner that I just absolutely love working with. And him and I, we do coaching and training. We want people to experience what we've been able to experience, which is developing your passion and then taking business concepts and then wrapping it around your passion. Because there's people who have business concept but no passion. And there are people who have passion but no business concept. But how do you marry the two together, just like we did with Hip Hop Hits? And that's what I'm excited about to do to help others. And my passion is actually to help single moms, because if I can help a single mom learn how to stand on her own 2 feet, create financial success, and not have to depend on a deadbeat dad, she can find someone in her life for love and not for money.
Oh, that's amazing. That's kind of pre-work for our organization, so I appreciate it. So, how in the world can somebody connect to you? How do we connect to you if we want you to coach us, if we need inspiration? Do you do speaking?
Yes. I just started. I was asked by a shoe company here, everybody knows about. They asked me to come in and to teach their employees how to do the art of storytelling. I'm also part of Toastmasters. So I've taken a Toastmasters class. I'm a distinguished Toastmaster, ATM bronze, if you want to know the levels. And with that, I was asked by this company to come in and help their employees with the storytelling. And so that has yet been another thing, because I said I wanted to be a paid speaker, paid author, a paid speaker, and then lo and behold, this opportunity presented itself. So if people want to connect with me, and I always say, I love coming up with ideas. I love creating things from nothing, right? And so if we can take something that you do and something that I do, how do we put those two things together and we create something unique and special? So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, through YouTube. I have videos up there, so if you want to work out, you can find my book on Amazon. I try to post inspirational messages. I live behind the thing that says, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And so usually, if I don't have anything nice to say, I'll go quiet on my social media, because I don't want to put any negativity out there, because there's so much negativity out there, and I try to keep it positive. So that's what you'll hopefully get from me if you are following me on any of those platforms.
That's awesome. Well, we really appreciate you being here and telling us all about Hip Hop Hits and all of your many businesses. We can't wait to see how you bloom. And thank you very much for just inspiring us, helping us learn a little bit about publishing, fitness, and all the rest that goes with it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Hi, I'm Betty Campbell, and here's your Xpose Hope moment for today. Let me tell you the story of a woman named Lyris. Lyris was one of our teammates, but she also had come out of the life. She came to us very confused as to where she fit in society, and we were able to walk alongside her, and she in turn walked alongside other ladies. So, if you're looking to help others, donate to our cause. XposeHope.com/donate. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Talking Business, brought to you by Xpose Hope. We can be found on all of your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, iTunes, all of them. Also, be sure to like us, share us, and leave a comment. Who do you want to hear from? We want to know.